I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but I think we're live now.
Hey,
guys. Welcome back for another Merri Hour. It's Friday. This is seriously the best time of the week.
not only because it's just Friday, it's because I get to see your smiling face.
I know, even though I got to see your smiling face earlier today, because you and Christy are the absolute best, and you swooped in when I needed you most. And also, I'm so grateful that both of you wound up being there because the connectivity issues on my end were a disaster.
Yeah, it was a fun witching hour this morning with me and Christy, and barely any Perri because Perri kept dropping out due to power hour issues. Power issues.
Power hour? Yeah, I see where your mind is going right now.
We'll talk about that later.
I think that for folks, it's kind of perfect timing because the witching hour isn't up yet, but I think that when we wrap the Merri Hour, you could probably find the witching hour on...
Oh, it'll be up by then?
I think it might be, yeah. I'm curious. Right. Hello, Steve. Hello, Billy. Hello, Red Hood. Everyone's here. Everyone's here to have a drink and hang out.
I want to drink my beer. Can we open them?
Oh, yeah, let's do it. Ready? Wait, I need to do the other hand.
Oh, wait, nope. Not a twist off.
Okay. 1, 2.
Ready?
Who's counting, me or you?
Who cares?
Cheers, man.
I think we're already like a month in and we just don't know what's going on. So I think that's exactly where we want to be.
So I was determined to get something other than Blue Moon for tonight and like to get something like a little more adventurous, but I wound up backing out of it because I think in the very near future, I am going to get like a special box in the mail with a variety of beers. So I just decided to keep, chipping away at the Costco size Blue Moon box this week.
Reasonable plan, right? Blue Moon box. I can't wait to see how many beers you get that you're just iffy on. I'm very proud that you're going to try a lot of these new beers that get shipped to you, but I feel like I should be there to finish the beers when you can't.
No, but I'm so it's like, even when it would have to be a very, very like anti my taste beer for me not to finish it, because it's like once I own it, it's like at a bar. Like if I went and I bought a pint of beer at a bar and didn't love what I got, I would still finish it because I bought it.
It's fair. It's fair.
Fair, but
I'll give you that.
Like
you finish
forcing yourself to drink something you don't like just because.
I mean, you don't know how many times I've done that. Like that sounds like a really crazy cocktail with pepperoncini juice in it and all this crazy shit. And I'm like, sure, let's go into it, dude. One time I had it was just a pepperoncini martini. So it was like the pepperoncini like pickling juice.
With that,
I know it was.
What are you talking?
Pickling juice and vodka. It's all it was. It was pepperoncini pickling juice and vodka. So
is pepper? I don't even know what word you're saying. Is that a brand?
So no, pepperoncini is a little pepper. Do you ever get like an Italian sandwich or salad and there's that little yellow pepper that's kind of spicy?
I'm gonna Google a picture.
I don't know why I'm talking to you about food things because you eat like boiled chicken
I made something.
You made a pizza that was given to you in a few parts.
Pizza. My phone's not here, but I didn't just make a pizza. I also made chicken lettuce cups, like legit chopped chicken, chopped vegetables, put it in a freaking pan. It went on the stove and there was sauce mixed in and everything.
All right. I'll believe you. I'll believe it when I see it.
I will send you a picture privately. I didn't want to post that picture on Instagram because, chicken lettuce wraps don't look super pleasing to the eye when it's like that bowl of chunky chicken,
No, not at all. I'm very much...
I describe it like that either. Oh, I know.
I'm very much like a foodie Instagram person where it's like, I'm not going to post everything I eat. Like, here's a turkey sandwich that I made. Like, that's not where it's going. Like, it's got to be something eye-popping that's going to actually, it deserves to be there.
So we should fill everyone in on the plan today. So we've had a whole bunch of episodes where we've sat here and talked about movies. We tested out the beer pong last week. And what we're going to do tonight is we're going to split it. We're going to do half sitting down conversation. And then halfway through, we're going to relocate and play some super competitive beer pong for the last half. So
I would even almost say let's do 40-20. I think 20 minutes is good for beer pong. And we got plenty to talk about today.
We got a lot of stuff to talk about right now.
We do.
Do you want to get to the first topic? Because we have a super chat that does apply.
If we want to start with the super chat, whatever it's called, topic, I think that works.
Yes, we do. Travis Earl says Snyder cut. Woo! So, Matt, how you feeling about the Snyder cut?
I got so many mixed emotions on this, and they range very high to very low.
Okay.
It's good for Snyder. God bless him. He gets to make the movie he wanted to. There were extenuating circumstances involved in the production. He had to walk away for certain reasons. The timeline's also a little skewed on that, where he walked away before the bad thing happened. I think that kind of gets lost in the shuffle a little bit. Like, the bad thing absolutely happened and we feel terrible for it, but it wasn't the cause of why he walked away. He kind of walked away because the movie wasn't coming together in his version. But still, he gets to make his movie. That's cool. I'm probably not going to watch it just because I despise the first version. And do I want to sit through a cut that's even infinitely longer? I don't think I do, but HBO is going to get paid out like crazy. HBO is going to get those subscribers. I mean, the Snyder cut fans get what they want. But now we've just opened up this door of like everyone like that doesn't care about the Snyder cut. Like, the thing online they're saying is kind of, finally they're going to stop talking about the Snyder cut. No, the Snyder cut conversation is going to go for a lot longer now, because the debate now is which is better. Well,
I mean, I guess that's that's kind of the downside of all of this. I think, on the surface, it's like, I'm kind of glad that the folks who want the Snyder cut so badly are going to get it, because if it means that much to them, like, good. I'm glad they're getting something that they've been dying for. I think the one thing that really upsets me about the whole situation is no matter what side you're on, how mean people are to the opposite side.
That's the biggest part for me. Continue, but
no, yeah. That's just like that really is one of the only reasons why I'm just not thrilled that the conversation has to continue and is probably going to have, like a new angle to it once it even comes out. But
yeah.
On the one hand, I'm very happy that people get what they want, because, again, I know a lot of people who are very, very passionate about it. And I know the whole situation was really, really messy, but I am a little nervous about the precedent that it sets in a number of different ways. Whether, because there's a lot of situations out there where everybody goes into a feature film with the best intentions, and films are very complicated things to make. Sometimes it just doesn't come together for whatever reason. And there's going to be more situations where directors are removed from projects and someone else steps in. So is the existence of Zack Snyder's cut of Justice League on HBO Max going to justify more situations like this, where directors who left a project before it was completed are demanding their cut and stuff like that? I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, if the movie just comes out on HBO Max, it drives more subscribers to them. Folks who want to watch the Snyder cut watch it, and they get exactly what they want, and then that's the end of it. That's perfectly fine. But we're not going to really see the repercussions of such a decision for a very long time.
No, and so here's the hard part for me, and I very much acknowledge that there are Snyder Cut fans who are very great people. I'm fully aware of that. They're in this chat right now. I see people saying how happy they are to see it, and we know that they are good people. But unlike any other fandom I have ever seen, the Snyder Cut movement has spawned some of the most toxic and honestly disgusting things I've seen from a fandom onto journalists, onto other people. I mean, a lot of my friends have death threats, and they're all from Snyder Cut people, and that's not okay to me. Like, and that's what's getting rewarded in a way. I again, it's hard for me not to step away from that.
I will agree with you. I've seen some nastiness, but I've also seen some nastiness from the other side too. Like, I don't really have like a 1-for-1 example where, each side gets equally vicious, but I've seen both sides disrespect each other for a good deal. But, bringing up the death threat thing, it's like the one experience I've ever had with something like that is with reviewing Aquaman. And it was just because I didn't like the movie. And that was very upsetting and semi traumatizing. But I don't think any passionate fan base, no matter what we're talking about, I don't think anybody should ever tiptoe anywhere near that kind of talk. But even
they're getting what they wanted. That's what's getting rewarded. And you know what else is getting rewarded? In The Last Jedi, or whatever the last Star Wars movie was, all those people that had those problems of Rose Tico, guess who gets pushed to the background of Rose Tico? It seems like the nastier people are getting about these fandoms, the more that filmmakers are losing creative control, and that ideas are now coming down to what's going to piss viewers off the most. And I think that's a very bad precedent to set on a creative level. And also it sets a bad example.
I don't know. I'm trying so hard to see, because I know that there's good and bad on both sides. Thinking about mushing this example with the Rose Tico example is a little upsetting to me, because I do think you're
two toxic fandoms, two very profitable scenarios. It's the same kind of thing. But, I mean, think of it from a level of HBO is giving $30 million to recut something when that $30 million could go to original projects. That's also the other issue I have with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost a pointless thing to say, but I've said it nonstop about what was it, Lone Ranger cost $200 million. We could have gotten 200 far better independent films for that kind of money. We can go in circles saying that all day long, but I actually think that 30 million might wind up being a good investment for them. And,
for them, yes. No, for them, it will be 100%.
I don't know how long those conversations have been going on, but maybe they're looking into how many people have already subscribed to the service, and they're reevaluating where they're spending their money, and they found that was the better investment. And I do think that a significant amount of people out there are going to prioritize HBO Max, because this is where this product exists. And, after all this, I wouldn't say I was part of the Release the Snyder Cut camp, but I can't deny the fact that I'm curious. And if it exists, I'm going to watch it. I do want to see it.
It's an exercise. Yeah.
Especially, I think you're about to say what I was just interrupting you to say. Sorry.
No. You go. I was interrupting you.
I think if anything, the thing that appeals to me most about this idea is just as someone who is fascinated by the art of crafting a film and how a film can be interpreted differently by so many people involved. I'm just curious to see what the big difference is. Well, obviously the differences are going to be huge, but I'm just curious to see how two different directors execute similar material.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And it's, I'm trying not to come from a super negative place on this. I think there are winners in this, and I 100% am happy for the Snyder Cut fans in this chat, and the good ones. I mean, someone said it in the chat right now, a lot of them are the good ones, but unfortunately the toxic voices are the loudest ones. And I'm not going to argue that either. I mean, I can't argue that, but just from what I have seen on the outside, and from my journalistic perspective of tweeting about certain things and certain keywords, bringing up certain kind of people, when I don't know, I can tweet about other things and no one seems to care. Why aren't these all? I'm trying to think of something else that was maligned and we didn't really want another cut. Why isn't there an uprising for the solo cut to get Phil Lord and Chris Miller's version? Something like that. This happens over and over and over again. So it was very odd to see Snyder's vision here just get latched onto.
Zack Snyder has a pretty significant fan base.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it was much more likely that this would have happened with something he worked on than, let's say, Lord and Miller. But I do think that we can kind of connect the dots between the call for the Snyder Cut and the response to it. And at a point, there was a call for the JJ cut of Rise of Skywalker. So
that might have pissed me off even more, honestly. Yeah. No, if that happened, I would have. Yeah. It just seems that, again, I will go back to creative license and I will say this is a bad thing for filmmakers, because on the whole, if you're handing over a job to a director and you're saying, this is your baby, you get to give your vision to this, you should be able, as a filmmaker, to put your vision into something. And what this is saying is, well, we don't really want your vision. We want the vision that's going to please the fans most and go down the line. So I think it sets a weird precedent for big studio and franchise tentpoles and things of that nature of, okay, are we making movies here or are we just churning out a product that's going to sell? And there's nothing wrong with either at a certain point, but it's just a little disappointing as a film fan.
I think like I'm so hesitant to go that far because I don't know the reality of what happened behind the scenes. Like there's tons of reports out there and accusations and claims and like I don't know what the heck really happened and who did what wrong. So like on the one hand, I wonder if, you know, it's like a chicken egg scenario. It's like, did all of this start because studio execs are meddling too much and, you know, forcing certain franchises in a particular, take it back, forcing certain installments in a specific direction to better serve the franchise rather than the individual movie. It's like I don't know where this all started, so I don't know who to blame, and I don't know if this is the kind of situation where you could say, you know, Zack Snyder never got to see his original vision through, or if, you know, he did something to warrant the movie being handed over to someone else. So
that's we're gonna find that out though. That's the thing, we're gonna find that out, and that's what the Snyder Cut will prove. So that is almost why it's an interesting experiment, because now we have the vision of the director versus the people who pulled him. Because if his version comes out and does suck, then the studios have all the power going forward going, hey, guess what? We took him off the project. This is why you got what you wanted. If it's amazing, then you have, oh shit, all these studios that are meddling with filmmakers, why don't they just let them go with their product?
This is another situation where it can't be a one-to-one. You know, we're talking about a guy who gets an additional $30 million now. He has free reign to do whatever he wants, I would assume. And he's also able to craft this second version of his vision with the ability of knowing how the other one was received. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like he's not going out right now and shooting new material, but he kind of knows what the response was to the other stuff. So maybe
so hindsight's an amazing thing. He knows what works and didn't work, and he can go back and cut however he wants. That's a very good point. It's unprecedented. Okay, everyone on like all these film people like that are actually in the industry, they keep tweeting out like, oh, like why is everyone so upset over this recut? Like there's billions of versions of every movie you just don't know about behind the scenes. But like no. This is unprecedented. What is happening with the Snyder Cut is unprecedented, and I don't think we can take away that kind of legitimacy from what's going on.
Of course, there are billions of cuts of movies behind the scenes, but those are assemblies and first cuts and you know, further cuts, and those cuts are never sold to the public. There's a very big difference here.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be very interesting to see how it all turns out. That's 100%.
I don't know. Still, what it comes down to for me more so than anything is just folks not being assholes about things.
But unfortunately,
and you know what? I think I'm going to say exactly what you were going to say. As I said that, I was about to follow it up by saying it's not necessary, but maybe the level of nastiness that was exhibited here is what pushed the studio execs to make it I don't know. I don't even like saying that and putting it out into the world, but it might be the truth of the matter.
Yeah, because there's so many of these films. You just think about like Ghostbusters and like, I mean, Suicide Squad got chopped to hell. That was not a release that was of the director's vision. I mean, this happens also like over and over and over again. I'm just very intrigued. I mean, listen, I have nothing against Zack Snyder. I think Dawn of the Dead is a freaking bang on remake. I'm gonna sit. Honestly, I rewatched Sucker Punch the other night because it was on TV, and like, it's dumb. The message doesn't land, but it does have some moments.
Well, it's got some great sequences in it.
It's got some great sequences. So it's like, man, you know, sure, why not? I'm not happy about it. People will be happy about it. It's gonna give the fans what they want. Yes, fine. God bless HBO. They're going to make billions of dollars on these subscribers, and that's just the reality of it.
I'm so torn on the matter right now that I can't definitively say if I'm happy about it or not, and I won't be able to firmly give you an answer to that until I see what the repercussions of this are. If it is just a matter of this thing coming out on HBO Max and making a whole bunch of super fans happy, great. If it is something that winds up having a ripple effect throughout the industry where we see multiple cuts of many movies hitting theaters or streaming services, then that could be problematic.
If you want the one answer that like makes me a hypocrite in a little bit, it's like, you know what? Sonic the Hedgehog. Let's look at that. Everyone got real pissed off when that first Sonic version came out. and it looked weird. None of us saw the movie of that version, but you know what? The Sonic that we got in the movie, I was way more a fan of that than what I saw in the trailers. So it's like,
it's a good point.
It's like, where do you draw the line? It's like, we can say all this stuff about the Snyder Cut, but then in my review, I can write in Sonic, like, listen, I don't like how this went down, but it gave a better product. And we're living in such weird times where the vocal majority and social media can influence creative decisions.
I mean, it's like it's like a super example of what, just general criticism is. It's like you could even look at it from like a broader perspective of, a studio takes the temperature of the room with how a movie did at the box office, how it did on Rotten Tomatoes, how it does with the fan meters on IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes, and then they let that influence their future film slate. It's pretty much the same thing, but directed towards one franchise or one movie.
Yeah, so it's like, no, totally.
In a sense, I can't blame them either for making this decision.
So there were 2 super chats if you want to get one really quick that came through.
I'm hovering over one, but I didn't want to cut the Snyder Cut section. The cut, Jesus.
I mean, we're on 20 minutes right now, so I mean, we just talked about it for 15 minutes.
It's been a day. Can I just tell you that? And I'm not complaining at all. I'm very grateful for this, but I think this has been my busiest week since the start of all of this, where I'm just like going crazy, like cramming all this stuff for interviews, and I just like. I don't know, like I've just been like going nuts wanting to pump out good content on collider.com. And I'm really proud of a certain interview that dropped like half today and half tomorrow. And nice. I don't know. But like I feel like I have earned this and many more, but I also feel like I'm a little scatterbrained right now.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. Don't worry about it. It's Friday. We've had a long week. This is the danger of doing this on a Friday afternoon after work hours even.
I also literally jumped from a virtual junket to this conversation. Like 30 minutes ago, I was talking about Invisible Man, and now here we are having beers and talking about Quibi. 123 Rock Fan is asking, will you be checking out Spielberg's horror show on Quibi after dark? His first writing project since AI, but the series is only available after sunset. I want to.
Have you gotten to it yet? Or?
I want to be really heated about this. I don't think I'll ever watch anything on Quibi ever again.
No, me neither. I'll be honest. I'm never going to download the app. I'm never going to get to, if the app's even available once it drops. That's the reality of it. I am the biggest. Quibi's going to be a thing.
Even being available.
Like that. I mean, I'm making a joke about the fact that no one's watching Quibi, and it's like, how quickly is it going to go under? I mean, there's like 1.8 billion sunk into Quibi, and no one's signing up for it or doing anything.
This is just me being overly sensitive and taking this way too personally, but I'm just generally fascinated by new technology, new storytelling formats. I went all in on Quibi coverage. I reviewed so many of their stupid movie and chapters. I did so many interviews, and you know where all that coverage went? Nowhere, and
into the garbage.
I don't care how much money they pumped into that service. I have a feeling it's just going to fade away, and
it is.
None of it serves any purpose. I am not wasting any more of my life covering Quibi content because it does not perform because no one is watching. Not doing it.
Yeah. Freaking Katzenberg in an interview the other day was literally blaming the pandemic. Like the thing that's forcing people to stay inside and not do anything and just download quick content, he is blaming for Quibi doing that. Like, how are you so blind?
This is another thing where I can see both sides, because the way I originally envisioned Quibi working is what I tend to do when I'm laying in bed at night and I can't sleep is I'll scroll through things like Insta stories or TikToks. Right. So I'm like, maybe if there's actual like full storytelling happening with high production value, I'll start scrolling through Quibi chapters instead. So I always viewed it as that's the way that the service was going to fit into my life. It wasn't until I got someone else's opinion and they're like, well, I was planning on watching it while I was commuting and now there's no commuting, that I really understood that a significant amount of its potential viewership could be in that boat and not be watching for that reason. So I think it's a little bit of both, but to blame the utter failure of that idea on the pandemic, no.
It's insane. It's insane. I read that interview. I'm like, holy crap. Like, how do you, and the whole thing about like not being able to capture content. Like if you're watching something on Quibi, you can't screenshot your screen and share. So it's like, you can't share a funny moment in what you're watching, like in a tweet or something like that. You can't do all this other stuff. And then you're going to blame the fact that people can't go anywhere and all they have to do is watch freaking content and they're not doing it. It's going to die. Quibi is going to go nowhere. I am so heartbroken because they resurrected Reno 911, which is one of my favorite shows from like my childhood. And I was like so hard. And I'm not even going to bother with it. I passed on it. Like, God bless you doing all that coverage, because I myself passed on it. I got those 50 States of Fright or whatever it is. And like those emails, it's like, do you want to do the interviews? Do you want to do reviews? And I was like, no, because Quibi's not going to get me any clicks. I mean, it's not going to do anything for the websites I write for, and no thanks.
It really did. It didn't move the needle at all. I think the only Quibi coverage that actually did well is when it was like something super negative, like this comment is ridiculous.
Yeah, no.
I actually have like a semi good segue to this next super chat. Thoughts on the Tenet trailer. One of my favorite Collider running jokes right now on Twitter is, I believe our TV editor Liz posted this, is that Quibi should buy the distribution rights to Tenet. I don't know.
Dropped its trailer on Fortnite, baby. Going for the kids.
Oh, did she not make
for the
that
youngins?
Up? Her Twitter account was the first thing I saw. So I'm giving.
That's not a joke. It dropped the teaser in a Fortnite game.
Oh, really?
I mean, like, it's brilliant. Don't get me wrong. So, like, Fortnite does these things where it's like an event, and they invite all the players into Fortnite at a certain time, and it's like your avatar is in the world. And the fight suspends. You all sit there and you all like do whatever. Like Travis Scott did a whole concert and he released some tracks. And so like it's just you go on this trippy video game virtual journey with Travis Scott. So the Tenet trailer dropped the fucking trailer in a video game.
We got to back this up. I have so many questions. So you are actively playing. I've never played Fortnite before. You're actively playing.
So Fortnite's like a fighting game. It's like a
shooting
game. Okay.
So you're actively playing it. And then play just pauses and you're forced to watch something like in a similar way that you're watching a YouTube video and all of a sudden an ad kicks in.
Not even. I don't know how they did it. I don't know how they did it for the trailer, but basically for like the concert, it was like, it's part of the game. It's not like everything stops and your screen is taken over. Like your guy is just kind of like fighting. And all of a sudden it's like, wait, it's time for the event. And you get transported to this different part of the game. And like you're still controlling your character, you can move around, you can do all this stuff, but now like maybe there's just a giant movie screen in the sky, and like you can look up and watch it and stuff like that.
So this is what happens when there's no live sports.
That's what somebody said. Someone was like, that was definitely going to drop during a big NBA game or like a big sporting event, and this was the second best thing because it is. I mean, Fortnite makes millions on a free game just because of how many people buy a few downloads here and there and stuff like that. It is actually brilliant.
I actually didn't even watch the trailer.
Oh, it's a good trailer. I mean, like, I'm here for Tenet. I'm here for it.
The junket I was just on, like, I love Kevin McCarthy so much. He let everybody screen share his computer so that he could show us like little like Easter egg type things in the footage. So he's like busy giving us a tour of the trailer.
Interesting.
Oh no, I get.
No, I'm here for the trailer. I think it's going to be good. Is it going to be the first movie that gets me back to a theater?
Is what?
I don't know. Is it going to be the first thing that gets me back to a theater? I don't know.
But
I want to see it in the theater.
It's not going to come out in July.
No, I don't think. No, it's not going to come out in July, which is what I'm saying.
Ryan, it's not going to be first. Like something that's first is something that is strictly testing the waters. It's a risk the studio can take. That's not the case with Tenet.
Yeah, agreed. No, 100%.
I don't think that should happen. All right. I have like
another one.
The most important super chat of life.
I see it.
Who has better bangs, Matt or Perri? Also, hi.
It's a little, so like I went for a run and took a shower and I didn't do anything to my hair after it. So this is just straight up janky ass. This is what I got. This is what I'm working with right now.
I'm a little bit today.
Yeah, yours is much more in place. Yours is much better at that.
If you could see how often I trim like the littlest, tiniest bit, just because I'm so afraid of ruining the shape and not being able to come back from screwing them up.
Yeah.
Like I need a hair. Like my hair is really long too. And I don't think I have long hair first to LA.
I'm starting to get like wings in the back where you can see it like coming over. I don't know, maybe it's somewhere. Yeah, the wings will go like on this side. I don't know. Fucking video is weird.
A bowl cut. Like let it grow enough and then legit put a bowl on your head and cut a real bowl cut.
I could dig up some childhood photos that would give you exactly what you're asking for. It's straight bold. It is just like whoosh. Should we go to a real topic? Let's go to a because we have some more stuff.
You're lucky you have the hair that you could do that with, though.
Yeah, and again, this is just
there. Don't.
This is just what it is. I'm just letting it drop.
I have one more hair question for you. Have you ever thought about shaving your head?
No, this comes up every week, and I'm not shaving my head.
I'm not suggesting that you shave your head. I'm just curious if you've ever done it, and if you've
never done it. Very nervous to do it. I've never done it, and I don't know how I'd look with shaved head.
Because like you don't know what shape your head is.
Yeah. What if it's like weird misshapen and like it's got bumps on it and stuff? I don't know. I'm not doing that.
I don't know either. Release them. Oh no! Or you bowl cut. This is the one I first saw from Rick.
I can release it next. I'll text home, get some pictures. I'll come back with something for next week.
Okay, sounds good.
The U-bowl cut. You son of a bitch. Whoever the third turd is. Oh boy.
What was the other topic we wanted to hit?
What should you rather talk about? Good question. Dewey or the Academy Awards?
Thoughts on Scream 5? Because we should maybe direct people to the Witching Hour where we talked about it for quite.
Hold on. Fuck Brad.
Wait, what happened?
I see Brad in the comments. Fuck you, Brad.
Brad, go get a beer or something.
Yeah, Brad. Yeah. What's your beard? Look at that dumb beard.
We dedicate an entire topic every Friday to Matt's hair.
We do. It just has to happen.
Oh God, I'm just like putting on all the chats now. Oh, you like your goatee?
No, that was a continued. Perri, you're not reading it in order.
I know. I clicked all the wrong things, but you got a little heart in the end.
I know. I love Brad.
God, I can't stop clicking things. I had bangs for always. They were never gone. It's just I'm able to choose when to pin them back and when not to.
Also, Monaco says I'd have a waiting for Guffman look if I went with the facial hair and the bowl cut, and I'd take offense to that. All right. Yeah. So
you want to do the Academy Award stuff?
I don't care. Do you want to plug to Witching Hour and talk about Dewey real quick? I just finished Scream 4, so now I have marathon all the screens overnight.
Because I've been thinking about it a lot since we spoke about it. So on the Witching Hour today, it was me, you, and Christy, and we spoke about David Arquette getting confirmed for Scream 5, which is a pretty big deal because we know that the conversation has been that Neve Campbell could possibly join the cast, but that was not a confirmation. And, actors say things like that all the time that never comes to fruition. This was an official announcement. David Arquette is back and he's going to be in Scream 5. So that obviously raises a ton of questions with what this story could be. So the thing that I've gotten a little hung up on is the possibility that they might go the New Nightmare route with this. And the more I think about it, the more I think it won't work. Like, one, it's going to feel like a copy paste of that movie, and it's not the same type of villain. Like, you can't have that button at the end.
You can't. So after having, seriously, I watched 1, 2, and 3 all last night, and then I watched 4 right before this chat. Mm-hmm. And what I got out of all the sequels is they keep wanting to outdo themselves. And by outdoing themselves, I mean they keep wanting getting more meta and also more reinventive and crazier, but also comment on the times of horror, because 2 and 3 happened within like 3 years of each other. So there wasn't a lot of evolution in the horror and slasher genre at that time. So what you got was basically Scream trying to reinvent itself. When Scream 4 came out, that had plenty to go off of. Scream 4 is a commentary on social media abuse, fame seeking, and also reboot and remake culture and how to do it right and wrong. And that's why it's so good, because it's able to do all that stuff and have new material to kind of go off of and still give the Scream experience, I would say. So now that was 2011. We, again, have had a long time pass. Mm-hmm. So we have to think about, number one, where are we in horror? Number two, how can Scream incorporate the stab movies and all that stuff into it and be relevant? And 3, redefine itself yet again, because that's the only way it happens. And to me, I feel like it's going back to basics, because I feel like the slasher genre, especially with the resurrection of like Halloween and stuff like that, the newest Halloween, that's just going straight back to basics. So honestly, I think
it is, but with the retcon route, how do you do that with Scream without retconning?
You retcon the fuck out of Scream 3.
You can't do that. You can't say Scream 4 exists and Scream 3 doesn't. Okay.
You can. I guess you can.
All right. No. I know you can. From a narrative perspective, you can definitely take the events of Scream 3 out of the equation and it won't matter. My bigger question though is, what is even the point of doing that at that point? It's like, if you
because Scream 3 introduces a ridiculous plot line at the end.
Right, let's not think about us who have rewatched the franchise very recently.
I'm not saying what it is. I'm just
literally no one's going to remember that Roman is the one who sparked this all. People can like black that out of their minds, if not forget, because they've never seen the movie or have only seen it once. It feels wrong to the hardcore franchise fans to bother removing that. If you're going to do something like that, you take the bigger swing and cut it off after 1 or 2. And I don't even want that to happen. So I guess my conclusion is, do not retcon anything in this franchise. It legit serves no purpose.
So here's what I'll say. Number one, I don't believe they will retcon. The entire idea of Scream is playing off all the old movies and making fun of the other Scream movies. I mean, Scream 2 starts out by making fun of Scream 1 immediately. There's a Star 69 reference. There's a caller ID reference. The whole idea of this franchise is to keep making fun of the previous movie and expand upon it in some way. Scream 3, I may not have liked it because it goes to Seed of Chucky in a way without being as good as Seed of Chucky. It still serves a purpose because it's making fun of the trilogy ender that's the whole point of Scream 3. It's making fun of that third movie in a trilogy and stuff like that. So then you go to Scream 4, which is the reboot, the reinvention. That's 10 years later. It's playing off of all the Nightmare and Friday remakes and stuff like that. So that's what you've made fun of in that point. So again, we have to look at where we're at, even in the trilogy, in the franchise and all that stuff, because we've done the reboot. So now what is this 10 years later? What are we at this point?
I can't handle this. If anyone from Radio Silence is watching, DM me, send me your secrets. I won't tell anybody, but it will just let me sleep at night. Please.
Will Jay and Silent Bob be back for Scream 5? That is the question everyone is asking.
Very important question.
Very important.
I'm pressing over Scream 5 more than I should be.
The whiplash on Scream 3 was tremendous. I watched it and remembered I liked it more the first time I saw it. When you watch them all in succession at this point, it's the black sheep, and I get that people are going to like it for that, and they should. It's a lot of fun in certain times. It is fun, and that's going to appeal to some kind of horror fans.
Parker Posey everything.
Yes, 100%. Parker Posey. And
that kill scene is one of my favorite kill scenes of the entire franchise.
It's good.
Yeah. It is good.
But the kill scenes in 4 are just above and beyond, man. I almost think that this has to be the dark, gritty reboot.
The kill scene with Jill's mom in Scream 4 is probably one of the weakest of the franchise. With the mail slot.
Yes, okay, that's one instance.
Characters of the entire franchise too.
I mean, I want Kirby back, hardcore.
I want Kirby back too, but even the cops, those 2 cops and how they died.
I love it. You mean Adam Brody and Anthony Anderson?
Yeah,
that cast is loaded. I mean, the cast is freaking loaded.
I'm not saying that, but I still
totally.
I mean, they all have.
For me, what's your
rank? Really rank every single kill in the entire franchise. I probably.
What's your overall ranking? I don't think I've ever asked you this because mine's 100% after this. It's 1, 2, 4. Or sorry, 1, 4, 2, 3.
Oh, okay. No, I can respect that. I'm still 1, 2, 4, and 3. But I respect your flipping of 2 and 4 because I think 4 is way better than anybody gives it credit for, even though there is a big contingent of people out there who absolutely love it. But 4 is really good, but I think the nostalgia factor of 2 ticks it up a notch for me.
That's fair because it's 1 year apart. 96 is Scream, 97 is Scream 2, and it has that momentum going into it.
Knew how many times I made my grandparents take me to see Scream 2 in theaters.
I wouldn't be surprised though. That's the thing. You can say that, and I'm not surprised at all.
I remember it.
My mind is just caught up on where we are in horror and how Scream can play off of that. Because again, we haven't really had a lot of reinvention on the slasher genre itself. I mean, Scream 4 starts playing with live streaming, and it starts playing with these ideas that honestly were a little ahead of its time.
Of course.
But you know, what has happened since then? And to me, it's like the art house movement. It's like, do we get a Scream where like horror is too pretentious? And not to use the term, but like, do we get the Scream that's making fun of the term elevated horror in that way? Like, I don't know.
That I despise saying elevated horror.
No, me too. But like, I'm trying to think what Scream can now skewer, because again, reboots and remakes, they're kind of done and stuff like that. And they're not done, sorry, but like they've already done that.
Maybe there's a fun spin on retconning, like where Gail, Sydney, and Dewey are like, don't, like something to the effect of "don't get rid of me" or something, or "don't make me insignificant."
Yeah, and I think that's going to be the overall key, because if we just get a Scream that's a slasher movie and it doesn't reinvent anything, it's going to feel like it's not living up to the Scream name. It needs to reinvent something. And that's a lot to put on the guys from Radio Silence, but also married with the tone of Ready or Not, these are the guys that could do it.
I believe the fact that they are the ones attached to this is what's giving me most of my faith right now. So I think they could pull it off.
I'm excited for it. I'm happy for it.
Should we start making some moves?
You have a lot of moves to make.
I have a lot of moves to make, which is why I need to make sure you're okay. Like, you could keep talking, but I have to like legit unplug and move
you
downstairs. Should I go do that?
I mean, yeah, if you want to do it now, I can try to talk about. So wait, get me started on the Academy Awards topic or something. I don't know. Or wait, what do people want to hear in the chat? Because here's what's going to happen. Perri has to move downstairs to set up her beer pong really quickly. So I need to just entertain you guys somehow, however that is. Just let me know.
Shave your head live. No? You don't like that idea?
No.
I sent you the link to the Variety article about the Academy Awards if you do want to touch on that. It's up to you.
Yeah, I mean, I have that. I mean, we can, but like, I feel like if I'm not talking to you about it, it'll have less of an impact.
I'm trying to think of like a good prompt I can give you. Matt, why don't you?
Is this like improv?
Yeah, why don't you adopt a puppy or a kitten? Okay, bye.
Oh my God, wait, I want to adopt a puppy. That's so sad to me. Brad, nothing. Just stare into the camera and occasionally swoop your hair side to side. I mean, if you're really asking me to do that, fine. I can't do this any longer. That's so weird. Would you do a revenge? Ooh. All right, so that is a very interesting. Justin Christie just said, "Would you do a Revenge of the Remake?" So for Bloody Disgusting, I do a feature called Revenge of the Remakes, which I pit the remake against the original. I mean, simple concept, but I go super deep divey on it. I just did A Nightmare on Elm Street, and I sat through the freaking remake because that's what I do for my readers and whatever. But yeah, so I go deep dive into it. And, so Revenge of the Remakes with Scream 4, even though it's not a remake and just talks about it, I mean, that's an interesting way to look at it, because I always saw Scream 4 like as a sequel. But as I just said before, it's making fun of reboot and remake culture. And it is a redefinition of a lot of things. That becomes really meta. If I were to do a Revenge of the Remakes on Scream 4 versus Scream, it'd be so hard because like you just said, it actually references Scream in Scream 4. So I feel like that negates it. I feel like I can't get into it because Scream 4 actively is referencing Scream in a way that's furthering the story and not remaking it. It's the hard part. Oh, look, you're back. Oh, look, back.
I can't remember if I put the step stool, like my computer's sitting on a step stool right now, and I can't remember if I put it on the table or on the step stool.
I don't know what you did. Christy has a very important question. Should I buy Demon Wind on Blu-ray? The answer is always yes. That's not even a question, actually. That's more of a statement, and yeah.
All right. I'm covering my computer from beer spills.
You tell me when you're ready for me just to walk across my bar area to my pong area. Because when you live alone, that's the kind...
Like, my mom packed up my beer pong supplies.
That's so adorable because, again, as the bachelor living alone, my beer pong cups have not been emptied or refilled since the last time we played. Because it's water.
Oh, there's like some schmutz in this one, though. It's like a bug.
Wait, Matt Monagle, shut up. Shut your face. he's trying to talk Christy out of not buying Demon Wind on Blu-ray, which is currently on sale on Vinegar Syndrome.
I still haven't watched Demon Wind.
I know, and you failed me because it's now off Shudder. You have failed me, so now I have to show it to you because, of course, I own the Blu-ray, so I'm going to make you watch it. So tell me when you're set up and when I can move over.
Okay, I'm almost there. Almost there.
I've already pre-prepared where mine is set up already, and I can just move my laptop and be on my game.
I'm not allowed to pre-prepare because I live with my parents.
Your parents are amazing. I love them.
They really are.
I know.
They're very, very...
Oh
God, I just spilled water everywhere. They're very, very patient with me.
Yeah, Brad McHarg says he needs to watch Demon Wind, and I agree he needs to watch Demon Wind because I think Bradley would appreciate Demon Wind because Bradley very much appreciated Dude Bro Party Massacre 3, of which the shirt I am wearing. I've never attended a fraternity, nor are these actually fraternity letters because none of these make sense. This is from Dude Bro Party Massacre 3.
Wait, back up. No, it's a delta and a theta, but the middle one is not a real one.
Right. It's not a real one, exactly.
No. All right, I think I need to put a little more water so it doesn't spill.
Demon Wind. What is that? A killer fart or something? It's really not that far off. It's not a killer fart. I can promise you that. It's. I want to say it's more complicated than that, but it isn't. It isn't. I don't know. It's just brilliant '90s bullshit horror. Like somebody went out to rip off Evil Dead in the Fog, and they had no idea what they were doing. Put together a slapstick kind of horror film, and all the chef kisses. All the chef kisses.
How fast did I set this up?
I'm actually impressed by how quickly you set that up.
I'm done. I'm ready.
So impressed that I'm going to go set mine over real quick. Hold on.
Okay. Have we missed any super chats? What's up, guys? I'm like a little creep in the corner of the screen right now. What should we talk about? I could tell you guys about my super cool Collider interview that I'm very excited about because I got to talk to the showrunner of Into the Night, and I'm very, very obsessed with that show. You could watch it on Netflix right now. It is about a group of people who get on a plane, and then an apocalyptic scenario happens, and it turns like the sun's rays deadly, basically. So Into the Night refers to them having to keep flying into the night in order to survive, and it is quite good. We have some super chat love from Caleb. You always got us covered, Caleb. Thank you so much.
I like Caleb.
What's happening now? Brad's very busy in the chat, Matt. Talk about upload. He wants to talk about upload.
What the fuck is upload?
Is that
Brad, what is upload?
Wait, is that Amazon show with with Robbie Amell? I did really want to watch that.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Where's your microphone?
It's on the side right here. Can you still hear me?
I don't think it's set up properly. Oh no, I can hear you. Yeah.
You can hear me right
now? Yeah.
Okay. Can everyone at home hear me? I'm just making sure.
I'm gonna. Oh, I didn't move this chair. I feel like I'm gonna have to get a microphone arm, so I have one too. Oh, now I feel like I'm in the right space.
Yeah, but have you sent your invite to the correct person?
For after?
Oh, I thought we were doing it now.
Oh no, we're that's after, when we're not live anymore.
No, let's do it live. Screw that.
No, I didn't prepare mine for it. No, we're gonna do it in private, and
the whole point.
We'll the idea of live. I can't do that to him.
Oh, that was the whole point of it. The whole point was to get people to stay on camera. Dude, I've been talking to you that the whole time.
You didn't explain yourself clearly.
All right. Well, Matt Monagle, just wait around a few more minutes, and we'll get you in.
We'll be right with you. All right. Are you going first? You should because you're the winner.
No, we'll start again. It's a new day. It's a new dawn. It's a new. I won't do the whole thing, but still.
How do we figure out who goes first again? I just go.
Ladies first. You go first.
Just in case people don't know, I was on freaking fire when we ended last time, and it's all going to be ruined now.
Totally.
See? I don't feel it right now.
What do you mean you don't feel it?
Like, I don't feel the same confidence I felt the last time we were playing.
1.
Of course.
Oh, no.
I feel like you've been practicing since we started. That was legit like the first shot I've taken.
I don't practice.
I gotta let the ball first. All right. So you got 1?
Totally.
Triangle's a little lopsided.
Which I'm gonna try to monitor the chat.
What is this nonsense? Someone messed with my cups. God, I suck right now. We need practice time. I also have no clue where that ball went.
People are calling for trick shots already. What the hell is this?
Trick shots?
Oh no! Oh no! That's 2 misses on my part.
I'm gonna get it. This is so stressful.
Come on, Perri.
Okay, I got 1.
What are the stakes on this? Like, what are?
All right. I don't know. We should let the commenters decide. The loser has 2, and then you guys fill in the blank. All right, I got 2. Ew. All right, I got another one.
You're up.
All right, I'm feeling it a little now.
1.
Figures.
Damn it! Just 1. Just 1.
Oh, I'm gonna.
Which are harder to hit.
I'm gonna line mine up.
So, do we decide we're not talking about things as this goes?
I have absolutely no clue anymore. Billy says this game.
Because I feel like
Billy says loser has to shave their head. Fuck no.
No. Hell no. There is no way that is happening. Not a shot.
Oh, I thought that was going in. Oh, I got it back. Woo.
All right, I hit 1.
One day I'll hit it behind the back.
Perri, I can't hit 2 in a row.
What are you up to? Hold on, I'm trying to do acrobatics behind the dog cage so I can get my ping pong balls back.
Should we talk about the Academy Award thing just as we're playing, just to offer some kind of insight?
I mean, to be completely honest, I don't remember all the specifics of that original article, but I don't know. I'm just not putting all that much stock into any grand claim made about the future of a film's release or an award ceremony like that, because who knows what's going to happen in the next couple of months.
I mean, we don't. Assuredly. The 2 jabronis playing beer pong on live stream surely have no idea what's going on.
Ha! I'm like the sorest winner in the world, and I feel like
I know you are.
I'm going to pay for it in a minute.
You're due for a win, Perri. Come on.
No.
That was a weird noise. That was not a normal noise. All right. All right. I feel like I'm going to try to go for that isolation cup instead of taking my rack.
Okay.
So I'm going to try to go for the cup that's not touching anything. If I hit it, I get 2. If I don't hit it, it's just a wasted. And then I got 1 more. Okay.
Don't mess it up, Matt. Pressure's on. Damn it. Why?
So because I hit that and it's my last turn, I get that ball back.
Yes,
so now I got 2 shots to hit this. What?
I know. Come on, just let me win 1. Ugh. Ah.
I actually am very surprised I hit that isolation.
It took long enough for me to win 1. What do we want to play? Best of 3?
Yeah, I think a best of 3 is very fair.
Seems like that's it. Why is there like no water in some of these cups? I didn't spill that much. Man, this game is so much fun, and I'm so for any of you guys who don't know, what we had explained last week was that we were going to each pick a partner from the live stream and invite that person to play with us privately after the stream ended. So we are going to do that tonight with 2 people.
I still think it's more. We'll do it how we're doing it.
We can definitely do it your way soon, but I thought the point was that we're supposed to pick people and just like hang out after.
That's totally fine with me. I've picked exactly who I wanted to pick to do that with, but I think it'll be more fun in the live stream itself too to get people interacting. I think it'll be interactive where like we just pull 2 people out of the chat who who know ahead of time and can set this up and can play with us as we do this.
They got to be able to set it up. All right, here we go.
Right.
I'm on a roll.
There you go. That's no.
What the hell? At least they were both decent shots, though.
One.
Ow. All right. Time for my comeback. All 6 cups in one turn. You ready for it?
Rick just said loser shows forehead.
No, thank you. Well, Dags will be ruined for the night. All right.
I mean, I actually, my haircut is usually like very short, so I've always got forehead showing. Man.
My time to shine, guys. I got this. I got this.
I feel like I hyped myself up too much last week the way I played, and now like this week it's just all going downhill.
What the hell? Well, yours was your good playing was all broadcast live. None of mine was.
All right, I got one.
All right, I need to catch back up to you now.
Also, I 100% had cocktails before last live stream, so I feel like I'm only on a beer and a half right now versus last week where I had like 2 cocktails and 2 beers before I even played.
I think was last week when I had a couple beers before we played, or was that the week?
It might have been. One. Oh.
Here we go.
So anyway, for those who don't know, the Academy Awards teased that they might postpone 4 months. They might postpone 4 months out of the idea that if enough Oscar contenders aren't released before then, they don't want to have the actual show until they get enough to look at. But that's also noting that they've let VOD titles be eligible now. So you have the back and forth of like, well, there's plenty of VOD to pick from, but if studios aren't releasing their Oscar bait, why are we going to have the Oscars? Which I think is bullshit. I say, fuck you, nominate Vin Diesel and just get this over with.
I understand the decision because we're definitely, even with streaming movies being eligible, we're going to have like content to vote on. But I like looking at the Academy Awards as like a little bit of a time capsule. And I still think that if you limit it to the calendar year as they have before, that's just what this year is going to be looked back on as, you know? Like the movies that made waves under dire circumstances. So I kind of don't want them to change it because I don't know. I want this to be
I agree with that.
It's a unique point in cinema.
I agree with that because just what you said, all these movies that actually can have their time for once, and like something like, could you imagine this was last year and like The Farewell came out and it actually got Oscar recognition it deserved? Like that would be awesome. That was also this close, Perri. I saw that. It
was online, but the force I threw it with was very off.
Just one.
You guys are so lucky. You can't see me trying to get these balls all over the kitchen.
Oh, I disagree. I very much want to see you just like crawling around your floor trying to pick up ping pong balls.
By the way, Matt, I just got an SD card in the mail, a micro SD card for the Mevo. So I'm gonna start shooting videos with the Mevo soon.
Hell yeah. The Mevo is good for when you're doing your live streams and it's just you. That's exactly how you do it.
Oh, I need a 2 there.
I'm taking my rack, Perri. I just want to make sure.
Fine. I think we should name her, right? I think we should let the live chat name her. Oh, wow. All right, wait. I'm gonna do that as well.
Perri, this is bad.
All right. I'm feeling really good about my chances tonight.
I'm letting
tonight.
I feel like I'm letting down the competitiveness of last week.
Damn it. Well, I don't feel as bad when the shots aren't that bad.
Okay, wait, Perri. So imagine that the year ended right now, and you had to pick 5 pictures for Best Picture, what would they be? Because I'm so fucking curious at this point. Like,
I'm sorry, say that again. I got really distracted by this comment.
Which one?
She looks like Monica Bellucci, so I vote Monica. And then at first I thought it was an abstract stalker Channing. Oh my God. No. But I like that too.
All right.
Damn that. What's your question for me?
If you had to pick a Best Picture Oscar lineup right now with the movies that have been released, what would it be?
Let me shoot these balls first, and then I'll tell you, because I have ideas.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, at least I got one. It's the worst damn cup in the rack, but I got one.
All right, now I want to hear your Oscars, the quarantine Oscars.
Invisible Man would be up there for me. Swallow is very, very good. I'm trying to like parse through all of the Sundance movies that I've seen that haven't come out though.
Well, I was going to say, it's got to be distribution. It's got to be, quote unquote, theatrical.
Woo! I got it. Oh! It happened.
It's 2 in a row. You got me best 2 out of 3 already.
That means you don't go again?
Yeah, 2 in a row on the last cup. That's it.
All right. And it's like perfect timing because we've been going for an hour. And we've got after here, wait, let me come closer to the computer so I can see some of the comments as we wind this down. We have plans. We have plans today.
Yes, we have plans with people.
Oh, hi, Rick. I don't know why that just happened. So this is what we're gonna do a little of. Like, again, tonight we're gonna play some beer pong with a couple of you guys privately after the stream ends. But in the future, like, we're gonna bring people on the show. We're gonna just go crazy with this. So I don't know. We got to figure out rules and reasons and like ways to get people involved. I don't know what those rules are yet.
Number one, I definitely next week want to do it live with people. So I think this will be a test. Okay, so this is actually good because we can test doing teams in private. So if it doesn't work, we don't look like idiots.
This is why it's a good reason we're doing this.
But I totally want to get it live because I want to make it like, like people are watching us and I appreciate that, just that people are here actually involved in this. So I want to get them on camera and again, like give them a direct access to you especially and just ask whatever they want. I think that's fun. And I think that's fun for other people to watch too.
I'm really mad that we didn't make it official that there was some sort of like bet on the line tonight.
We have to figure out a bet. We absolutely have to figure out a bet. Also, when do we want to do our Merri Hour Power Hour? Because I can do that. I'm ready to do it whenever.
I don't know. You tell me when. I'm going to do it.
Well, because it's going to have to be a whole episode. So
okay.
For those who don't know what a power hour is.
Do we want to take a beer pong break next week or do we want to push it?
We could do that. So here's my idea. For those who don't know what a power hour is, it's basically an hour straight of a playlist of songs that are a minute each. And after every time the music changes, you take like, it's supposed to be a shot of beer, but do whatever you want. Take a sip of beer. Don't drink at all. It's totally just meant to be fun. And it's a fun way to like hear a bunch of songs that you might not expect to be in the same playlist and do it that way. So I have a few playlists I'm curious about using. Number one, I have a horror themed playlist that pulls from soundtracks. It also pulls from like songs that are famous needle drops in horror movies and also a few like horror musical tracks. Also, it's called Punko's Power Hour. It's a playlist. I don't know if anyone is as big like a punk pop fan as I am, but there's this whole series of CDs called Punko's Pop, which takes famous pop songs and it has them covered by like punk pop bands, and it is gold. And when I say I have a 60-song playlist of pop songs covered in rock formats and that it slays, I would love to do that with some people. So basically, I could just send the link out to everybody in the stream. They would all just come in. We would start it at a time. And it would be a cool thing of like, we could all just talk in the chat and stuff like that. And as it's going, we'll be on camera, Perri. Maybe we can invite some friends to be on camera with us. And yeah, we kind of just rock out for an hour.
Here's a question, because a lot of people in the chat are saying that we're going to get a copyright issue because of it.
I've already done it a bunch of times. Yeah, you listen to it yourself. So we're not going to play it
in the video. So we need to like figure out the logistics of that so that anybody not watching it live knows exactly, what to press.
Well, I was going to say, so it would be a live thing. Let's be honest. You have to be here and do it live. If you're watching it after the fact, you'll get a link still, and you can still go to my playlist that I made. But the copyright's all taken care of. Basically, it's a website called Project Power Hour, and I'm laughing that it exists. But I've been doing this with my friends. We do it every Saturday, and I make the playlist. I put it in. All anyone has to do is join my room, and I play it on my computer, and you can all hear it on your, like, you'll have headphones in on a laptop or a tablet or however. It's all me. I'm in control. And yeah, it just goes to everyone else.
You said that like it was a good thing.
In this point, it is, because number one, I can curate the hell out of a playlist. Number two,
I trust you more than I said. I trust you more than I said. All right, we're out of here. We're gonna go join forces with our behind the scenes players right now. But if you're not sick of Matt and I think it would be Matt and me. Sorry, I'm a perfectionist. You should go on over to Collider Video right now, and you should watch the latest episode of The Witching Hour, where we went crazy talking about Scream 5 and so much more with Christy Putzko. So check that out. Big thanks to everybody out there for spending your happy hour with us tonight at the Merri Hour. I will see you tomorrow at noon PT for, a movie news filled live stream. I can't wait. Matt, is there anything you want to plug last minute?
Yeah, just follow me as always at Donatobomb on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd, and that's where you'll get my bullshittery.
Christy confirm. Oh no, I missed it. There it is. Witching Hour is up.
Go watch it.
Go watch it. Cool. See you next week for more Merri Hour.